What really happened to Fantasia? Fantasia Barrino propelled to fame in 2004 when she won the third season of American Idol. Her life hasn't been all celebrity parties and photo shoots, however. From domestic conflict, overdoses, and even the assassination of her nephew, it's true to say she's had a lot to deal with. So without further ado, let's discover what really happened to Fantasia. To start off with, let's go right back to the beginning. In her 2005 memoir titled Life is Not a Fairy Tale, more on this later, she revealed that she was assaulted by a boy at high school during 9th grade. She said, "I can barely recall the details. I just know that I shudder to think of how that single act changed me in a way that I did need to be changed." She was right. This act would set precedent for events that were to come later in her life. After plucking up the courage, Fantasia eventually told her mother what happened. Naturally mortified that her young daughter had gone through something like this, she helped her to report the crime to the school. Although the boy was punished, in Fantasia's opinion, the punishment wasn't strong enough, and she still faced difficult situations in school during the aftermath. In 2007, whilst appearing in an interview with the Oprah magazine, she said that after she made the complaint about the boy, school life just got increasingly difficult. We turned the guy in, but going back to school was hell. His homeboys would say, "I'm gonna do exactly what he did." The pressure and emotional torment got so bad for Fantasia that she decided to quit school. For her, it was the only way. Fast forward 3 years, Fantasia moved into her own apartment and at the age of 17 gave birth to her daughter Zion. She told Oprah Winfrey that following the young pregnancy, people had started to label her as someone who wasn't going anywhere, and she had begun to lose herself. This lack of confidence was only worsened when her boyfriend, the father of Zion, started to abuse her. He was later arrested for his crimes, with court documents claiming that he used to choke and punch her. Fantasia recalls looking in the mirror one day and saying, "Look at me, I can't see out of one eye, I have knots on my head." By the age of 19, Fantasia's confidence was at an all-time low. As a result of dropping out of education at such an early age, she struggled with everyday tasks such as learning and writing. In her memoir, she explained that, "I get by in life, but my reading isn't what it should be." Despite this, she made her way onto the 2004 series of American Idol, though her difficulties did make the process somewhat challenging. In fact, in her famous performance of the George Gershwin track Summertime, she had been given a page of lyrics to learn, but being scared what producers would say if they found out she had trouble learning, she spent hours listening to the song and memorizing the words beforehand. It was worth the trouble, though, as this resulted in Simon Cowell saying it was his favorite performance of the whole show. Way to go, Fantasia! Okay, back to her memoir, which she released in 2005, uncovered a few personal home truths, to say the least. In it, she explains that her father had valued his children's musical careers over their education and had even hit her whenever she sulked in front of other people as a child. It's fair to say her father was not happy, and after learning these proclamations, he filed a $10 million libel lawsuit against the publisher, stating that the claims were untrue. He also stated that Fantasia didn't even write the book, but that it was written by her grandmother. Ooh, burn. This wasn't the only time that she would face the wrath of the law either. In 2010, a woman called Paula Cook from North Carolina claimed that Fantasia had a relationship with her husband, which categorically led to their divorce. The man in question was called Antoine. The claims were taken so seriously that Fantasia was called to court to testify during the divorce proceedings, where Fantasia apparently claimed that she had become pregnant with Antoine's child. The pregnancy was terminated. Paula Cook's petition went on to claim that Fantasia had been highly confrontational during a phone call and had said, "Your husband don't want you. Maybe the next time you get a husband, you'll know how to keep him." Charming, eh? Before you go judging, though, we should say that Fantasia's manager issued a statement denying that she had broken up the marriage. That said, she did welcome her second child in 2011, named Dallas Xavier. And although the details of the father have never been released, the rumors are that it is Antoine's. Whether she did break up the Cook's marriage or not, it was clear that the negativity that surrounded her in the weeks to follow really took their toll on Fantasia. She was found shortly after by her manager, almost unconscious. She was immediately sent to the hospital for dehydration and exhaustion because of taking too many pills. In a 2010 interview with VH1's Behind the Music, Fantasia said, "I just sat in the closet and looked at the mirror and took all the pills in the bottle. I just wanted to go to sleep and be at peace." She explained that she was depressed because of the low opinions that people had of her, though later she did regret the action. By 2013, she was back in the headlines again after she shared an Instagram post that many users had reported as prejudice. The tweet is now deleted. However, people on Twitter recall that she had wrote, "It's a lot that going on that the Bible speaks about we should not be doing." She also added her own personal thoughts on LGBT marriage and mentioned that the legalization of ganja was another sacrilegious event. Her management suggested that her comments had been taken out of context and that in no way was she prejudiced. Fantasia also offered her own statement, saying, "It has been brought to my attention that something I said was taken out of context. I, Fantasia Monique Barrino, don't judge anyone because I don't want to be judged. The LGBT community is one of my largest supporters. I support the LGBT community as they support me." To add depth to her statement, a few months later, Fantasia agreed to perform at the Long Beach Pride Festival. Moving on to 2015, and Fantasia finally found new love in the form of Kendall Taylor. After just 3 weeks of dating, the pair tied the knot. In an episode of Uncensored Fantasia, she explains the moment Kendall popped the question. She said that he fell to his knees, he reaches over and gets his oil. He takes my hand and he prays for me. Not exactly the most traditional proposal, we agree. The couple raised some eyebrows again in an interview where Fantasia explained that you have to let the man be the head of the household. You have to learn how to submit. You can still be a queen. A queen plays a part. A king needs his queen, but a queen has to sit back and allow her king to be the king. No prizes for guessing who wears the trousers in that house then. Naturally, her comments didn't go down so well, and later the couple took to Instagram to post a video saying, "Submission is supposed to be a beautiful song and dance between two lovers." Well, that's okay then. By 2017, drama hit the Barrino household again after her brother Xavier was injured in a serious motorcycle accident. The accident was so severe that he struggled to walk for several years after. She spent a lot of time helping him to recover and later admitted that she took a tough love approach to his restoration. This tough love seemed to work, as in 2019 Instagram post, he was pictured standing with the help of braces with the comment, "I'm not going to give you anything. You've got to put in work just like I did. When you put in work, you cherish it more. You take care of it." Unfortunately, recovery wasn't an option for Fantasia's nephew, 18-year-old Tyquan Washington, who died in 2018 in a North Carolina shooting. In the aftermath, Fantasia took to Instagram to write, "Auntie is so sorry, baby. RIP to my oldest nephew." The post has since been deleted. Following the shooting, a suspect was charged with first-degree assassination and burglary with a dangerous weapon. Finally, in 2021, Fantasia gave birth to a new baby girl named Keziah, who was born prematurely. The singer documented her pregnancy on social media, even took part in a photo shoot whilst having contractions. By June, any concerns from fans over the health of her premature daughter were put to rest when she posted on Instagram a precious picture holding her daughter with the caption, "Almost home," signaling that all was well. It's fair to say that Fantasia has been through a lot in her relatively short life. Still only 36 years old, she seems to have a skill of rising in the face of adversity. We say, long may it continue. And welcome to the world, Keziah. See you next time.